This is just a pre-test, so this only measures your prior knowledge. So it'll be fine if you get a low score. That would indicate that you don't know much about our topic for today. Okay, or if you get a high score, then that means you have an idea. Okay, so let's start. So based on our leaderboard, we've got Tolentino, Kailaw, and Kamahalan and Magana who got perfect scores for the pre-test, and we have others who are, ayan, who still have not familiar with critical reading. Okay, so before we start our lesson, let me ask you these questions. So I hope everyone can see my screen. So for my screen, there is a picture here, right? I need you to study the picture and look at it closely. Okay, so from this picture, first question is, what may these children be doing? Anyone, please raise their hand. Yes, Obligar, kindly open your cam as well.
Mm, reciting poems or reciting something po. I'm not
Okay,
sure po.
all right. Sige, Obligar, stay. Okay. Another question is, okay, so why do you think these children are in similar clothes?
To be more presentable po while doing some reciting or yes po, miss.
All right. Uh, okay, and finally, what do you think is happening when this picture was taken?
The the children were able to state what they want to say or they want to recite something ganun po, miss.
Okay, sige. Thank you, Obligar. Okay, let's have other insights. We have all the questions posted right here. Anyone?
Miss, I think they are doing
Okay, Lumeho.
actions. Yes, it's an.
Okay.
I think it's an action of a dance or something like a song, and their clothes are similar. Maybe because it's their uniform, and they are um, required to use proper uniform. Because I think it's inside a classroom, and I think they are happy with what they are doing. They are enjoying it.
All
Yes,
right. Thank you,
thanks.
Lumeho. Okay. And lastly, may I ask another person to give their insight? Kindly just raise your hand. Yes, Rombawa.
Miss, I think they're reciting some poem, and I think they have similar clothes to have a good image. And also, the happening when this picture was taken is there's something in their school has event to do something like that.
Okay, thank you. So from the picture, we are able to study or analyze what is presented to us with what we see, okay, with some questions that are beyond the picture, right? Thank you for answering these questions. And actually, I have another picture. Ayan. So from this picture, this is quite different from the first that I have showed you, right? So for the first question, who are the people in this picture and what makes you think these people, okay, are who they are? Let's have anyone who raised their hand. Okay, Magana.
Miss, I think the people in the big picture is a family, and I think so because mainly a family are composed of a father, a mother, and their children. And in the picture, it clearly shows that there are the elements that I said earlier, that there are the father, the mother,
Okay.
and the children.
Another question, Magana, is when do you think this picture is taken, and what makes you think that it is taken at that year?
I think the picture was taken, um, ano, long
Okay.
time ago. I don't know exactly the year, but I do
Mm-hmm.
think that the picture was taken and it was really, really old because as you can see in the picture, it is just black and white and not colored, unlike the photos in our era today.
All right. And lastly, what similarities are there to your family that are also in this picture?
Um, I also have a parent, and I also have my parents, and I also have a sibling.
Oh, okay. Sige. Thank you, Magana. All right. Other answers, other insights? Okay, the questions are posted already. So just give me your answer. Please just raise your hand. Annabelle Rudas.
I think the picture says that it's a picture for a whole family, a complete family. And what makes you think so is the picture says it already that it's a family. Sorry, ma'am, but when do you think this pictures is taken? Why do you think so? I think the pictures is taken long time ago, and as I recall, the answer before is the color of the pictures is black and gray.
Mm-hmm.
What similarities are there to your family in this picture? I can see that we don't have a family pictures, but I can see I can confirm, ma'am, because we don't have, since we are in the rural areas from there, and then before I don't have a camera, so
Mm.
I think that is I can compare myself to this picture.
Okay. Thank you, Annabelle. All right. So let me ask you again. Have you received some messages like this? Okay. Yes, okay. Some of you have received messages such as this. So from the first picture, we could see that someone messaged, that's actually from my inbox. Okay. Someone messaged me that I have won 470,000 from Copico Blanca. Okay. And okay, another one is from another inbox wherein we see an autoload max of for 300 pesos. And then the same number, all right, gave us an insight that uh PM does saying, okay, mali yung napadala niya and pwede bang ibalik yung 300 like that. Okay, so seeing that it's not just I who share this experience, okay? There is also another one. When you have seen these messages, did you believe it? Or did you, what do you call this? Did you immediately believe that it is true? Anyone?
No, ma'am, I didn't believe those messages
Why? You could
because,
have won 470,000, you
but
know?
ma'am, it's too good to be true.
Okay.
Like, and most of the time, I don't really participate those kind of raffles, so I know that I won't win those kind of prizes, and just and like the example on what's that? The Copico and the
Okay.
load. That's why I won't believe it.
All
Yes.
right. Thank you. Yeah, anyone else? Did any one of you believe this or actually sent a 300 peso load to someone, to a random stranger?
I think, Miss, this is not legit. And
Okay.
we should not believe in this kind of messages, especially we know that this is some sort of a scam, and we just need um, to be safe because these persons might just get your informations and you might just be in danger. That's all.
All right. Thank you, Lumeho. There are information that we need to analyze, that we need to interpret and evaluate. Okay. Because not all information is legit, and not all information that will be given to us is true. That is why it's important that we analyze, interpret, and evaluate information that are being presented to us. And by doing this, we are doing critical reading, okay, or critical thinking at first. Okay, so when you are critical thinking,
Critical reading, engaging in analytic activity which involves the reader by asking questions about the text and the author's claim. Critical readers are doing the process of evaluating, analyzing, and interpreting the assertion of the hidden meaning of the entire text.
all right. So critical reading, okay, has something to do with, as I've said, critical thinking. Okay, wherein we don't just absorb information, we don't just plainly. On the other hand, we have what we call reasoning. Um, Lumehok, please read.
Reasoning, defined in Merriam-Webster's dictionary, is an act of giving statements for justification and explanation. It is the ability of someone to defend something by giving out reasons.
Called the CER method. Okay, it's a claim, evidence, and reasoning method. Okay, if you are going to read a text, or maybe if you are to evaluate a text, okay, these are the elements that you will find. Okay, so first is the claim. So if you would remember, we have discussed about the different types of claims. So let me show you an example. So the question is, do lobsters feel pain? Anyone, please read the paragraph. Okay, Lazaro.
Lobster do feel pain. Researchers Queen University in Belfast found that crabs, which like lobsters and prawns are invertebrates, learned to avoid the shelter in a laboratory tank where they had repeatedly received an electric shock. In another experiment at Queen's University, a light acid was placed on the antenna of a prawn. In response, the prawn would repeatedly rub the area for a long time. However, the response was reduced if a local anesthetic is applied. Therefore, lobsters must feel pain because the response of similar invertebrates to painful stimuli, whether it be nursing, grooming, or
Okay, so that is
avoidance.
CER method. And actually, in multiple argumentative essays, or if you are to write an argumentative essay yourself, a reasoning could come as a conclusion. We also have steps using critical reading as reasoning, which is actually not that far from. So upon writing a counterclaim, we have what we call hedges, or what we use to give a courteous tone. Start a drill, right? So our drill is actually quite simple. Okay, so from the directions, you're only given a text. Read the following text and fill out the needed information in the text by choosing the letter of the correct answer. Okay, so from the text, it is just a sentence. And of course, the sentence will contain information, and you will have to fill out some blanks. Okay, and the information that you need to fill out will be also evident from the given question. Okay, so it will not be a hard activity for you to answer. Throughout his young life, John excelled in sports, and as a result, he decided he wanted to become a professional blank. Yes, Lumehok.
Letter B, athlete.
Okay, why do you think athlete is the answer?
Because John's interest is focused mainly on sports. So I think he wanted to become an athlete, a professional
Okay.
athlete.
All right, very good, Lumeo. Okay, the service at the restaurant was usually very attentive, but on this one occasion, the waiter seemed to blank the diners. Yes, Magana.
C, ignore,
Okay, why do you think so?
because at the first phrase, it was mentioned that the restaurant is usually very attentive. Then the the next sentence is like suggesting the opposite of the first. So the antonym of the attentive is ignore. So I chose ignore.
Okay, very good, Magana. Okay, so it is indeed ignore. Okay, so from the performance task, here are the following directions. I will give you a text to evaluate, okay, and you will be graded by this rubric. You could either be 5, 3, and 1. So please analyze this text. All right, so these are our questions. Number 1, what is the author's main argument? Number 2, do you agree with the author's stance? 3, what can you say about the issue? All right, let's have your answers. Anyone? Yes, Magana.
School uniforms should be mandatory for all students. This is the main argument of the author, and I absolutely agree with his stance because, just like his reasonings, I also do think that it is more convenient and efficient to wear a uniform than wearing casual wear.
All right. All right, that's good. Okay, so you have given the main argument, and yes, you agreed, and you have given your insight. All right, so I give you 5 for that answer. So let's proceed to text 2. We have there are many reasons why I don't smoke. First, smoking. The questions go: what is the text about? What evidences did the author presented to support his argument? And third, what can you say about the issue? All right, let's have your answers. Anyone who could read their paragraph?
The text is about the reasons why the author doesn't smoke. The author wrote that it is smoking that that smoking is unhealthy and can cause illnesses like lung cancer with the risk of dying po.
All right, thank you, Buena. Okay, Magana, you raised your hand.
The text was about the author's main reasons why he doesn't smoke. Some of his reasons are illnesses such as lung cancer that can be obtained by smoking, the expensive cost just to buy a stick that emits a smoke and a bad smell, and which I also relate to because, especially the smell, I hate how cigarettes smell.
All right, thank you. All right, so again, you get 5 for that. Anyone else? Olivas, yes.
The text is about why the author doesn't smoke. The evidences that the author presents to support his idea is that it is because smoking is expensive, unhealthy, and unattractive. I am also agreeing with the author, especially smoking is bad to our health, especially to our lungs, and it can also um, cause many cancers and any many diseases.
Okay. Thank you, Olivas. Olivas, right? Okay. So, all right. So that's good to know that you relate to the author, and not much of you are actually smoking. And ayan. So that is for text 2. And lastly, we have text 3. So for text 3, we have snorkeling in the ocean can be an exhilarating experience until one begins to question what might be lurking down below. The fear of sharks can seriously impact an enjoyable day swimming in the sea. Okay, so that is for text 3. The questions are as follows. So what is the text about? Do you agree with the author's stance? And are there other ways to keep away from sharks without affecting the ocean? What do you suggest? Okay. Olivas, are you done?
Yes po.
Okay, sige. Olivas, kindly share your answer.
The text is about how we can keep the sharks away, I think. At the end of the paragraph, I agree with the author's stance since chemical may harm sharks since they are also living beings like us who can also affected by this. There are many other things that we can keep the sharks away by not having harming the sharks. For example, we can lure them away from the people by using fish blood further away. That's all.
Okay, thank you. All right, that's a good suggestion. So you're going to use fish blood to lure them away. Okay. Any others who are finished? You can share your answers.
The text was about the fear of the sharks ruining an enjoyable day at the sea, and in this text, the author's stance is to create chemicals to make sharks stay away, which I oppose. I do not agree in harming sharks just for the sake of an enjoyable day, so instead, I suggest that a part of the ocean is enclosed to ensure the safety of snorkelers while letting the sharks go on their day.
Okay, letting the sharks go on their day. All right. So, okay, so that is a different suggestion, but actually a very plausible one. Head on to quizzes.com and have our quiz about this topic. Okay, so don't worry, the quiz will be simple. It will be about everything that I have taught today. Okay, so please, again, go back to quizzes.com and I will give you a code. Go. Okay, I think everything is settled. Let's end it. Alright, so we have three. Okay, we have Kailaw, Obligar, and Magana. Congratulations. Okay. So that is for our assessment for this lesson. Let's ask this question. I need everyone to go to Google Jamboard. I hope you are familiar with Jamboard. I have sent the Jamboard through our chat box. So please click on the link and let's meet on the dashboard. So people on the Jamboard, I have a question here. I post a question that is it important that we learn to read critically? So for you to answer, please just click on the sticky note, put in your answers, and of course, please put your names. Say, for example, okay, so that's my answer, and I'm Cleo. So it will appear like this. Okay. So, lakihan na lang, and if ever, ayan, para makita ko saan nyo ilalagay. Thing like that. You could choose the color if you want. Ayan, kung gusto niyo ng blue, green, pink. Ayan. So, please, kindly just answer the question. Okay, so let me read some of your responses. So we have from Heidi Kailaw. Yes, it's important to read critically. It is to overcome confusion and be intellectually dependent. Thank you, Kailaw. That is actually good. We have from Kyla of ABMC. Yes, it is important to read critically because it can help our minds sharpen and think further so that we can also know other meanings behind text. By critically thinking, we can also improve our knowledge about other things. All right. Annabelle, yes, it is important. Thank you for the help. Others? Okay, Buena answered, it is important because it helps us understand the given work or the perspective of the author and reflect upon it. Yes. Actually, as an author, if you're an author, it is very flattering for people to know or to observe other things that are present in the text that you have made. Whoever this is, please put on a name. Ayun, Meljon Obligar says, yes, it is important because for us, readers, it will be able to evaluate, analyze, and interpret the hidden meaning of the entire text or the author's stand. All right. We also have from Bongar. Being critical means being active in a way of reading. Reading critically shows our skills to think and understand the given text. Yes. And we also have from Ojame, it helps our daily lives and we can avoid exploitative people. Okay. We can avoid to exploit or abuse some people if we are aware of our society and what is happening around us. Critical reading is an important, okay, whoever this is. Okay, Ken Lioren from ABME. Ayan. Give some ideas about how you might become a more reader. Other study guides you may find useful. Where did you get this, Lioren? All right. And Tolentino Altea from ABMC says, yes, because we will be more active by reading, and it is okay. It is a deeper, and when we are read critically, we use our critical thinking skills in question both the text and our own reading of it. And okay, let's have okay, ayan. Melvin answers, reading critically allows us to also think critically, widening our views and letting us think outside the box. Okay, so those are very interesting answers that you have put out here. I think I hope I have read everything. Okay, so the majority of answers says that yes, it is important to read critically. And as a teacher, of course, I want my students to read and not just read, but to think critically. Okay, because it is very important for us to be able to be aware of our surroundings. And when you are actually critical with the information or the news, especially nowadays, that the news that we are receiving, upon being critical, we are actually showing that we care of our society and we care of what happens around us, and we are not just passive people who are not aware of what's happening on our surroundings just because it doesn't affect us. Okay, being critical actually shows that we care. Okay, and not just that, and we are not gullible to false information, to simple bribery. We're not gullible about that because we know that we are thinking, and we know that we care about our surroundings. Okay, so thank you for these answers. May pangalan, so I think it is easier to track who these people are, who answered in the Jamboard. Okay, so let's stop that. Thank you for answering that question quite honestly. Okay, and I'm really glad that we are all agreeing on the same page that it is very important that we are able to think critically and to read critically. So for your do on page 6 of your reading and writing skills quarter 4, module 5 on MS Word. So same format, answer it on MS Word, and upon submitting, it must be converted to PDF file. Put your name first upon naming the file name, so I know that it's your output. Okay, and later on I will check it if you have submitted. Today is Thursday, so tomorrow is the deadline for this. So it will okay, so it is what I can do. So the instruction is already there. I have uploaded a copy of the module on our GC. So please skim through it. If there are information that I have, if you want some additional information, you could still search about critical reading as reasoning. Okay, and yeah, I will only have to look for this table for the output of your assignment. Okay, so that is for our discussion today. Do you have questions? Do you all have questions? Questions about the assignment or the topic? Anyone? Okay. So if everyone doesn't have questions, I think we can end the presentation now. Reminders, next week we will have to meet again for ABMC, our usual time. For Model A, our usual time also with ABME. We will meet again next week for another topic, still about critical reading. Okay, so that is all. If you have if you don't have any questions, maybe we can end the discussion right now. And yeah, and have a good day.